And we're just going to connect with the spine, because very often I'm talking about these parts of the spine. You know, we don't always kind of connect with what that is. So as you come to lie down and you bend the knees, bring the feet onto the ground, and just notice that lift in the spine from the top of the pelvis in towards the belly button. Yeah, and this is the lumbar spine, the lower spine. And we've got that natural curve there, which will be a different shape for all of us. Some of us, it will feel that it's very pronounced. Some of us will find that we're like this. Yeah, some of us more like that. So it will be a different shape for each of us. So how that shape is for you is very, very. Sometimes we push in it when we say, I've got bad backache. You might be pushing in that area. And then from here, bring your hands underneath the back of your neck. And you've got that curve there. So if you're lying down on the ground and you've tucked your chin in towards your chest, now bring your gaze straight up to the ceiling so you can come into that curve in the back of the neck. And then the curves where the back of the hips and the shoulder blades rest on the ground. Yeah, that's your other curves. So where the hips are resting on the ground, in the center of the hips is where the sacrum is. And then we come up into the lumbar spine where it lifts. So the lumbar, the lower spine. The rib cage, the thoracic spine where it begins to rest back down onto the ground. And then the neck, the cervical spine. So being aware of that, not looking to flatten anything. Those curves provide us with shock absorbers in the body. So we don't want to lose that, you know, because when we come up to stand in the posture, we want to keep those curves in the spine as they are. Let's come up with the right foot now and gently rotate the foot. And then from here, begin to draw a circle with the heel. And as you're drawing this circle with the heel, really relax the thigh so that might bring a bend into the knee. And just notice as you're drawing that circle, the movement that creates in the hip joint. So as the knee comes towards the chest, the back of the hip just very gently lifts. As the heel goes away, you feel that the front of the hip extends. And you might notice that the bottom part of the hip comes down more to the ground. And if you're not sure, just really slow it down. So you become more mindful of that movement, yeah? If you really slow it down, you might also notice that at certain points, it feels like there's which I can only describe as a cathonk, yeah? So for me, when I get to about here, something muscular goes cathonk, and that's my hip flexor coming over my hip bones, yeah. So you might feel something like that, especially if your hip flexors are a little bit tight. And then bring the foot down to the ground and change the foot. Now notice how that hip feels as you bring the left foot up towards the ceiling, and how it might feel as though it's rested more into the ground. And then begin to draw a circle with the heel again. So nice and slowly. And notice how this side of the body is, yeah? How this leg is moving in the hip joint. And slow that movement down. You know, and how does the right hip and the right side feel as you do this? What is the movement in the spine as you're doing this movement, yeah? And this is the nice thing about perhaps having an alternate practice. We wouldn't maybe do this until the sun was really warm at Marble Hill and the ground was dry, because you probably, you know, you wouldn't want to do this lying on a damp ground necessarily. And then gently bring that foot down to the ground. From here now, lift the feet off of the ground so the thighs come straight upwards. Bring the hands onto the knees. And draw the thighs downwards into the hip sockets. And with that movement, it spreads you through your lower spine and lifts the upper spine.
And then you might just want to hold the backs of your legs and have that little roll backwards and forwards. And as you're rolling backwards and forwards, remember where your spine ended, yeah? And come up to sit. So the spine ends between the ears. So a little bit of anatomy awareness today. Spine ends between the ears. So when you're doing any movement like that, let the head and the neck move as naturally as possible. Come up to sit now. How do you feel about the base? You've got a little bit more awareness now into the base. So as you come to sit, you know, if you want to sit on a cushion or anything like that, feel free to. Just take a breath in, bring both of the arms up and above. Breathe out and let the hands come down in front of the face. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. And as you're bringing the arms up, feel as though you're scooping the air up and letting the hands come down in front of the face. The breath comes in, scooping up, so you get the connection from the little fingers, from the ring fingers, the middle fingers, the index fingers, the thumbs, all the way back down the arm and into the ribs. So when you start to move in your sun salutation and you lift the arms up, there is that real opening up to the heavens. Now as you come down with the arms, bring the hands forward and extend the spine forward. So you have that awareness from the sacrum, from the tailbone, which is right underneath the sacrum, up into the breastbone at the front of the spine and into the crown of the head. And you're feeling that the spine can extend up and beyond the crown this morning. And then gently come over the knees to come into all fours, or however coming into all fours is good for you. Curl the toes under and come up and over the feet to bring you into squat pose. And then you're going to roll backwards and forwards through the ball of the foot. But we're going to avoid coming up high onto the toes, yeah? You're just going to come backwards and forwards through the ball of the foot. So you're going more and more onto the back of the ball of the foot. The heels, if you're particularly flexible, the heels might go all the way down to the ground. But you're just coming backwards and forwards. And then from here, as you come forward a little bit more and you begin to go down, lift the thighs up into the hips, send the heels into the ground. So you're opening the backs of the knees to extend up into your forward bend. And again, the knees, the legs don't need to be completely straight. Take a breath in and up you come with the arms connecting down into the backs of the heels, lifting the ribs up, going down through the tailbone. And bring the hands together in Namaste. And as you do that, let your thigh muscles relax so you're not feeling as though you're pulling the kneecaps up. Yeah, so just a little bit of body awareness before we start moving. Lift the toes so you really wake the arches up and then let the toes come down. Lift up through the toes so you really engage and awaken the arches and then let the toes come down. Lift up and come down. So when I lift the toes, it brings me more into the heels, yeah? And that sends me back a little bit and then I come down. I'm probably exaggerating that a little bit, but you can see there was a little sway there. And then come up onto the balls of the feet again to lift the heels. So when we lift the heels, we really want to come into the balls of the feet to give us a little bit more support. It makes it easier to balance, yeah? And then from here, let yourself come to a standstill. We start with some salutation. Breath comes in, the arms come up. Let the tail release down to the ground. Breathe out, let the fingertips come all the way down. Bring the hands onto the shins, lengthen and extend the spine forward. Fingertips come back down, big step back with the left leg. And as you go back with the left leg, come up through the heel, yeah? So that left foot's as though it's on the wall behind you. Drop the knee down, breath comes in, stand into that front foot, down into the heel to lift you up. Breathe out, bring the arms down, step back into downward dog pose. Keep the knees bent in dog. Let one heel come up, one heel come down. Relax the shoulder blades back into the spine so the chest and the heart can come a little bit more forward. Let the knees bend, come back into child's pose. In child's pose, bring both hands over to the left and let the right hand come on top of the left. Now bring both hands over to the right and let the left hand come on top of the right. Come back to the centre, slide the hands forward, gently up and over the knees, come into half plank pose. So think about the front of the body, the front of the spine, yeah? So you're coming up from the knees into the hips, into the breastbone, into the shoulder joints. Curl the toes under, come up into downward dog pose. Breath comes in and out. Keep the knees nice and soft. Bend the knees again, come down into all fours, come forward with the left foot, and again stand down into the feet so you get all that movement back into the thighs to bring the spine up. Breathe out, let the arms come down, come into your forward bend, hands on the shins, lengthen and extend the spine. Breathe out, release back down, breath comes in, comes all the way up, and the hands come together in Namaste. Up through the arms. Breathe out as you release down. Bring the hands onto the shins, extends the spine and the heart. Breathe out, releases back down. Come back with the right foot. Use that right foot in the lunge pose to open the back of the leg and open the sole of the foot. Back knee comes down, stand strong into the feet. Up you come with the spine. Breathe out, arms come down, step back into downward dog pose. Keep the knees soft, let one heel come up, one heel come down. And when you're doing that, you're going to start coming onto the back of the ball of the foot. Let the knees come down, bring both hands over to the right. Let the left hand come on top of the right, so we're going to open the ribs a little bit more. And now let both hands come over to the left, bring the right hand on top of the left knees back. Come back to the centre. Let the hands slide forward. Come up gently, gently, gently over the kneecaps. This time let's bring a bit of rotation into the feet. Curl the toes under. Up you come into dog pose. You're going to be in a slightly longer dog now. So still keep the knees relaxed, keep that extension up through the hips. Let the knees bend, come down into all fours, come forward now with the right foot. Stand strong into the feet, up you come with the spine, let the tail release downwards. Breathe out, let the arms come forward, come into your forward bend, hands on your shins, extend the spine. As you're coming forward with the spine, the more you can think about moving forward from the breastbone, the more it's going to bring you back into your hips, yeah? Back into the hamstrings. Release down, keep bringing the breastbone forward. Let the breath come in and the arms come all the way up. Tail releases down, hands come together in Namaste. Let's take half a step back, just a little step back with the left foot. Breath comes in, connect down into the heels, then connect into the balls of the feet. Breathe out, bring the spine forward as far as it feels comfortable for you. So the fingertips might come onto the ground, they might decide to come onto the shins, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then take a big deep breath in, bring the arms up, so you have to go down into the feet to bring the spine up. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Step forward with the back foot, come back now with the right foot. Up you come with the arms, keep standing down into the feet. Breathe out, bring the spine forward. As you're coming forward, feel that the sacrum is moving upwards as the pelvis comes over the thighs. Big deep breath in, up you come with the arms all the way up and brings the hands together in Namaste. Step forward with the back foot, second round, up through the arms. Breathe out, release the spine down. Hands onto the shins, extends the spine forward. Fingertips down to the ground. Big step back with the left foot. Open the sole of the foot. Back knee comes down, round the spine. Bring the arms forward. Start standing into the front foot, up through the chest, up through the heart. Opens the arms outwards. Hands come forward, sweep back and up if you've got space behind you to bring the leg up into the air. Bring the foot down to the ground, bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Slide the hands forward, round the spine into cat pose. Bring the breastbone forward, 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 forward into cobra. Curl the toes under. Begin to roll back over the balls of the feet, just like you did in squat pose, into downward dog. If you can, bring the left leg up, bend the knee into the chest and plant the foot between the hands. If not, all fours forward with the left foot. That knee comes down, round the spine, bring the arms forward. Up through the fingers, keep standing down into the feet, opening up through the chest and through the heart. Bring the hands forward. Come into forward bend, hands on the shins, extend the breastbone. Breathe out, release down, big deep breath in, comes all the way up. Hands come together, in namaste. Up we go again. Breathe out, releases you down. Hands onto the shins, extends the spine forward. Breathe out, release down. Big step back with the right foot this time. Bring the knee down to the ground. Stand strong into the feet. Rounds the spine, arms come forward, up through the fingers and out. Hands come forward, sweep back and up with the left leg. Bring the foot down to the ground, bend the knees, come back into child's pose. All the way back. Really bring the front of the foot into the ground. So just below the toes, feel that you can guide that part of the foot into the ground. Slide the hands forward, round the spine into cat pose, bring the breastbone forward into cobra. Can you spread into the front of the little toe, the front of the big toe? It's going to help you release in the front of the hips. Curl the toes under. Gently come up and over the feet into downward dog. Relax the knees. Come up now with the right leg. Bend the knee into the chest. Plant the foot between the hands. Back knee comes down, round the spine. The arms come forward. Come up through the fingers, down through the tailbone, out through the rib cage as you bring the arms out. Hands come forward into forward bend. Hands onto the shins, extends the spine. Breathe out, releases you down, breath comes in, and the arms come all the way up. The hands come together in namaste. From here now, take half a step back. So your left big toe is going to be in line with your right arch, yeah? And that's how we're going to do the forward bend now into sun salutation, because it just brings a slightly different dimension into the movement. Just makes it feel a little bit different, yeah? So, coming into stand, breath comes in, the arms come up. Bring the hands together in namaste. Half that little step back, so your left big toes in line with your right arch. Up you come through the arms, breathe out. Bring the fingertips down to the ground. Extend forward through the breastbone. Bring the hands onto the shins, lengthen and extend. Keep going down into the heels. Breathe out, let the fingertips come down to the ground. Now steps back with the left foot. Left knee comes down to the ground. Bring the backs of the hands onto the cheeks. So the movement looks like that. Backs of the hands onto the cheeks and out through the fingers. Hands come forward, sweep back and up with the right leg. Brings the foot down to the ground, bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Connecting to the front of the feet. Slide the hands forward, round the spine into cat pose. Bring the breastbone forward into cobra. Feel that you can bring the breastbone forward towards the tip of the nose. Curl the toes under, up and over the feet you come into downward dog. Relax the knees. Imagine a helium balloon underneath the pelvis, lifting you up. Up you come with the left leg. Bend the knee into the chest and plant the foot between the hands. Let the back knee come down. Backs of the hands come onto the cheeks. Up you come with the spine and out. Fingertips come forward. As you step forward, remember you're going to bring the right big toe so it's in line with the left middle arch. Bring the fingertips forward, extend the spine, hands onto the shins, lengthen and extend. Breathe out, release down, let the breath come in and the arms come all the way up. Step that right foot forward, bring the hands together in namaste. Up we go again, breathe out. Fingertips come down to the ground. Let's take that little half step back with the right foot now. Go down into the heels, into the ball of the foot. Bring the hands onto the shins, lengthen and extend the spine. Release back down to the ground. Now step all the way back with the right foot. Right knee comes down, backs of the hands onto the cheeks. Strong into the feet, up and out through the rib cage. Hands come forward. Sweep back and up with the left leg. Bring the foot down to the ground, bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Slide the hands forward, round the spine into cat pose. Let the breastbone come forward into cobra. Don't lose the connection of the front of the foot. Curl the toes under, up and over, you come into downward dog pose. Relax the knees, really bend the knees in dog pose now. And come back to the hips and the pelvis. Feel that you can lift upwards, that helium balloon underneath the hips and the pelvis, lifting it up towards the heavens. So you're going to find a bit more awareness through here. Up you come with the right leg, bend the knee into the chest and plant the foot between the hands. Let the back knee come down, backs of the hands onto the cheeks, up you come with the spine, out through the fingers, bring the hands forward. As you step forward, that left big toe is in line with the middle of the arch. Bring the hands onto the shins and lengthen and extend. Breathe out, release down. Breath comes in and the arms come all the way up. Step the foot forward so they're in line. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Come back to the breath. Big deep breath in, opening out, stretching into the fingertips. Bring the hands down. Stand into the feet now, into the big toe joint, the little toe joint, the inner heel, the outer heel. Let the tail release down. Let the thighs soften with the breath. So you're coming back to the feet all the time and you're not sort of compensating with the other muscles. Now take a big deep breath in. As you breathe out, come forward, soften the knees, bend at the elbows, let each elbow be held by the opposite hand, so the spine dangles. Let the crown of the head shine downwards towards the ground. Breath comes in, breath goes out. Now gently begin to come up, stacking vertebra on top of vertebra. Keep going into the little toe joint, the big toe joint, the inner heel, the outer heel, coming up and up and up. Keep going down into the heels, underneath the breastbone, out through the fingers, and bring the hands together in Namaste. Let the thumbs come onto the chest. As you come up through that movement there, the spine is really extended. Take a step back with the left foot. Let the breath come in, the arms come up. Breathe out, let the pelvis come over the thigh, come forward into Trikonasana. So first of all, Parsvottanasana, hands on to the sacrum. Let the right hand come down to the shin, rotate through the rib cage, up you come with the left arm. Or not, if there's anything going on in the left shoulder, keep the hand here. The back foot is turned out a little bit. So this is going to open us through the hip and the spine. The thoracic, where the rib cage is, the movement's coming from here and the spine extends forward. So the arm may well be up in the air. Breath comes in, breath goes out. Let the hand come down with the next exhalation. Keep extending forward through the crown of the head. As you breathe in, come up through the arm, but you're still connecting down into the feet. Breathe out, brings the arm down. Breath comes in, brings the arm up. Let the left hand come onto the sacrum, stand into the feet, bring the right arm up. As you bring the right arm up and you come up to stand, the spine's eventually going to come back round to the centre. Bring the right hand onto the back of the head. So you're going to rest the head back into the hand and you're going to keep that left hand onto the sacrum. Letting the breath come in and the breath go out. Excuse me, guys. So from here now, feel that there's that extension up through the spine and the left hand's going to start to come in and out from the elbow. And then we're going to gently bend to bring the hand, the back of the hand, towards the middle of the shoulder blades. Doesn't matter if it doesn't get there, it can be here. And then let the right hand slide down. Maybe the fingertips meet, maybe they don't, yeah? We're still in this stance, so standing up. Now, can you rest back a little bit into that upper arm? So there's a real extension up through here, up through the belly, and you've really opened through the arms. Now you're going to let the right arm come down, let the arm come in and out. Can you bring the right hand back behind you on top of the left? So the movement is beginning to look like that. Now again, if there's anything going on, you might come to here if that feels more comfortable, yeah? As you're doing this now, can you rest, feel as though you're resting the breastbone back through the body into the hands. If the hands are lower, feel that you're resting the breastbone back and over the hands. So again, you're really open through the front of the body. Come forward with the spine, even though you're still resting the breastbone back. So even though you're coming forward, there is a tiny little back bend as you come forward. As you're coming down now, you're keeping that movement coming back into the hands. So it will feel a little bit stronger through the spine. Now you're going to bring the arms out and let them swing. And then from here, you're going to bring the fingertips onto the ground and lift the back left leg. And stand away through the foot. Now you're going to take a step forward with that left foot and swing it between the hands. Take a breath in and up you come with the arms. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Stand into the ball of the back foot to lift the heel. You might want to bring that heel in just a little bit so you can get a turning out through the hip joint. Up you come with the arms. Breathe out, bring the spine forward. Let the hands come onto the sacrum, keep extending forward. Let the left hand come down onto the left shin, rotate out through the rib cage. So now you're fanning out through this right hip and up you come with the arm. Or not, yeah, if it feels uncomfortable in the shoulder, hand on the sacrum, up you come. Breathe. So this side of the body now open. As you breathe out, let the arm come down. As you breathe in, let the arm come up. Think about that big toe joint, little toe joint, inner heel, outer heel. And now lift them up and up and up through the right fingertips. Bring that right hand back onto the sacrum, stand into the feet, up you come with the spine. You're bringing the spine forward, up and up and up. Let the left hand come onto the back of the head, rest into the hand. Now let the right elbow come in and out. Bring the back of the right hand to the middle. So you're coming into this movement again. And then maybe the left hand comes down. And it's a little bit like the hip movement at the start, you know. How's it feel this side, this way round? Let the left arm come out. In and out, in and out. And then from here, bends at the elbow, brings the left hand on top of the right. And can you just gently rest back? So if you're resting back, the tailbone's going down. Yeah, we don't want to do that push, yeah? We want to feel that we go up through the crown of the head and then we rest back towards the hands. And then as we come forward, and forward and forward and forward, brings us to here. And you can see there's still a tiny little back bend in the upper spine. Keep coming down with the spine, but connecting back into the hands. And then let the arms come down, let them swing freely. Let the fingertips come onto the ground, into the ball of the back foot, lifts the back heel to bring you up. And then this time, bring the foot down, bend both of the knees, bring the hands together in Namaste. Let the left elbow come round to the right knee. And then let the right elbow come round to the left knee. Left to right. And right to left. Come back to the center. Bring the fingertips onto the ground. Extend the heels down. Open out through the knees. Big deep breath in. Up you come through the arms all the way up. Brings the hands together in Namaste. Stand strong in the right foot. Up with the left knee. Gentle rotation through the foot. Little bit of movement into the hip. You've done this work already. You're strong in the right foot. Bring the foot all the way out and around behind you. So you're going to come into your warrior two. So check where the heel is in line with the back foot. What we don't want to happen is to have the left foot right behind the right foot, yeah? It could come forward. That's going to make you balance better if your balance is a little bit squiffy, yeah? Ideally, you kind of want the heel, the right heel in line with the left arch, and then go out and away through the arms. We're going to bring the back arm onto the back thigh to come up, and then breathe out and bring the lower arm onto the upper thigh and come over. So notice, as you come up, you're going to go more into the little toe side of the back foot to bring you up, and into the heel of the front foot to bring you up. And then as you come forward, you're rolling through the foot, coming into the little toe, into the big toe side of the feet, but then spreading out through the little toe to stabilize. In and up. Now this time as you come out and down, could you bring the fingertips onto the ground and lengthen up and up and up. See how this feels. You might then want to go back through the back leg just so it feels a little bit more comfortable on the back knee. Left hand is going to come onto the sacrum. We're going to have a look at something called a bind now. So see how it is for you. You're going to bring the left hand around to the top of the right thigh. Now, if that feels too much, keep the hand on the sacrum, give this bit a miss. And then you're going to bring the right hand behind the right leg. And then maybe the hands can come together. See how it is. If that doesn't work for you, keep the left hand on the sacrum, keep the right fingers to the inside of the right foot. If you can get the bind, keep extending forward through the crown of the head and keep the rotation through the rib cage. Now unfurl the hands, stand into the feet and come back into your warrior two. Yeah? So if that felt really tricky or uncomfortable, give it a miss the next time round. Bring the hands together in Namaste, lift up through the back heel, pivot on the ball of the foot. This time drop the knees straight down to the ground, and then you're going to come forward, rest the spine onto the front thigh, front of the foot onto the ground. Might even want to bring the knee back a little bit more if you've got long legs, and keep coming forward with the breastbone, but you're resting the chest on that front thigh. Curl the back toes under and step forward to bring you into your forward bend. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Hands come together in Namaste. Up you come now with the right foot. So rotating into that right foot and then into the knee. And then you're going to open outwards. So feel this fans out. So you get right into the adductor muscles. Front knees bent in line with the two middle toes. And you're going to extend out and away through the arms. Exactly the same way that you did with the breath. Connect into the fingertips to open you through the ribs. Back arm comes on. And down onto the right thigh. Up you come. Breathe out and come forward. Up and over, back and up, and down. So as you're coming up and over with the right arm, really connect down to the right little toe side of the foot and lengthen away through the fingers. So you'll feel the hip really lengthen and open there. Up you come, strong into the feet. And then from here, you're going to bring the left fingertips, if you can, down to the ground, yeah? If that feels too much, if it's tight on the knee or it just doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. Stay here, yeah? And then from here, you might even find you want to go back through the right foot a little bit more to give you a little bit more space. If you're going for the bind, right hand comes onto the sacrum, then you're going to root it around to the top of the left thigh. And then the left hand comes underneath and maybe the hands interlink. See how it is, yeah? Let the breath come in and the breath go out. Binds are good to do in the morning because they're really energizing for the body. You might find that you go really hot after doing this. Bring the hands together into that front foot. So you have to go down into the heel. Bring the arms into Warrior Two. Then let the hands come together in Namaste and bring the front foot in. Come into your forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. Fingertips come onto the ground underneath the chest, lengthen and extend the breastbone forward. And again, watch the knees here. Don't push back through the knees. Feel that you can open them by lifting the thighs up into the hips and really coming forward with the spine. Keep the left fingertips on the ground, up you come with the right arm. Breathe. Bring the right hand down to the ground, up you come with the left arm. And breathe. Bring the left hand down to the ground. Begin to release the crown of the head down as far as it feels comfortable for you, but think about the crown pointing down. Take a big deep breath in, stand into the feet, up you come through the arms. Bring the hands together in Namaste. From here now, bring the feet, the toes in, the tiniest little bit. Not much, probably about 15 degrees if you were doing a measurement. And then come forward again, but connect down into the big toe joint and into the little toe joint, the inner heel, the outer heel. So it just gives you more of a spread through the sacrum. Bring the fingertips really forward. If you've got enough space, walk them forward as though you're going to come into what might look like a mini dog, yeah? So you would start coming in a little bit like that. So you can get some space in the lower spine and then some space coming forward, taking it off of the hips. Walk the hands back. Bring the toes back out. Take a big deep breath in. Up you come with the arms. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Bring the heels in. Bring the balls in. Bring the heels in. Stay here. Bend the knees. So the knees come in line with the two middle toes. Go down into the heels. Relax the pelvis now. Feel the tail can go straight down to the ground. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Brings you into goddess pose. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Extend the thighs up into the hips. Bring the feet in. Bring the heels in. Bring the feet in. Bring the heels in. Good. Up we come with the spine. Breathe out. Bend the knees. Hold the hands onto the ground. See how it is for you to lightly jump back. Very light into downward dog. Come up now with the right leg. Bend the knee in towards the chest. Bring the spine forward. Let the knee come down between the hands. Come back now with the left leg. All that awareness you had in Cobra, in the front of the foot, bring it into the front of the foot now in Pigeon. So root into the little toe, root into the big toe of that back leg. Come up through the breastbone, maybe even come up onto the fingertips. Think about that movement that we did in the upper spine where we did that. Not that we're going to do that now, but that shape of the spine as it comes up. So you're really extending up through the belly, going down through the tailbone, but really opening and lengthening the spine. Bring the whole of the hands onto the ground, curl the back toes under, bring the knee forward, up and away you come through the leg. Brings the right foot down to the ground, come up with the left leg. Bend the knee in towards the chest. Let the knee come between the hands. Bring the front of the back foot onto the ground, into the little toe, into the big toe. So again, you're always getting that connection back through the legs, into the hips to support the spine. Up you come. Bring the whole of the hands onto the ground, curl the back toes under, let the knee come in, keep the toes curled under, come up and away through the leg, bring the foot down to the ground, bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Now in child's pose, even if your bottom's not touching the ground, feel that the tailbone can go all the way down to the ground. If your knees are feeling really uncomfortable today, grab something like a towel, a little hand towel or a blanket, because what you can do is you could pop it in between, yeah? In between the knees and come back and rest like that, because that's going to create a little bit of space in the knees for you, yeah? So if the knees are feeling a little bit uncomfortable, it helps create space into the knees. Then from here, come up into all fours and release down through the tailbone. Let the spine round to bring you into cat pose. And then come forward with the chest, forward with the heart, let the shoulder blades roll back into the spine to bring you into cow. Once more, let the tail go down into cat pose. And come forward with the chest, forward with the heart to come into cow. Come back into your all fours. Let your legs, your lower legs come over to the left. Bring the bottom back so you can come to sit down and let the feet come forward. So you're going to come into Baddha Konasana. And in Baddha Konasana, let the little toes really engage down into the ground and stroke the shins of the ankles. So you're going to make a little bit of space into the ankles. The more you keep connecting back into the feet, the more you're going to feel that movement in to the hips and into the spine. It's going to lift the spine, and then begin to stroke the thighs back into the hips. Now let the fingertips come outwards, extend away through the heels. So you can see I've got a little bend in my knees to begin with, yeah? Use the backs of the heels on the ground so you're not holding the thighs. That's what makes the hips feel really icky in this pose. We'll be strong and holding onto the thighs, yeah? And then you're going to bring the right little toe and the left big toe down to the ground. So you're going to come over like that. And the left hip will lift off of the ground. Then you stroke the back of the thigh back into the hip socket till you find that bony bit in the bottom, yeah? And that's what you're going to draw back and sit on. Yeah, and then the left little toe, right big toe comes down. Stroke the thigh back into the hip. Find that little bony bit, that's your sitting bone. It's kind of like top of the thigh, feels like it's right in the middle of the glute. And then you're going to scoop it back and sit down onto it. And then you might find it easier to release in the knees, and up you can come through the crown of the head. Bring your fingertips out to the side. Take a breath in and up you come with the arms. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Extend out through the arms. Let the left hand come down towards the left shin or the left knee. Come up with the right arm. So you're going to see how this feels for you and take it as far as it feels comfortable for you. This might be enough this morning. You might want to start coming back to this, yeah? If not, you could slide the hand down towards the ankle and let the spine move like that. Up you come with the arm, brings the hand down into the ground, come up with the left arm. So you're going to make a little bit of space in that left hip. Keep relaxing the left heel into the ground to take it off the thigh. Bring the hand out. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Open out through the spine like you would do in Trikonasana. Right hand onto right shin, up through the left arm. And again, take it as far as it feels comfortable for you. The right hand can slide down and then you can come over. But you might feel this morning, you know what, this is what I need. I just need to extend upwards. Left hand comes onto the ground. Right arm comes up and up and up so that you can really extend up through here. And then bring the fingertips out to the side. Up you come with both of the arms. Come forward with the spine. Bring the hands onto the shins and extend up through the crown of the head. Generally, we find this posture, most people find it's a little bit uncomfortable because it's, you know, very on the hamstrings and very much on the hips. So maybe where, you know, working patterns are different at the moment, we've done quite a lot around the hips because we might be sitting in a different way that we're not used to sitting at a desk, or we may not in some circumstances be moving as much. Up you come through the crown of the head. Now gently bring the feet in and cross them over, but keeping the awareness into the little toes. Bring the hands on to the knees. If you feel more comfortable being here, come to here, yeah? We're going to very gently circle the ribs, yeah? So it's as though you've drawn a circle with the heel, you're now drawing a circle with your breastbone, yeah? And then we're going to come back and around and bring it round the other way. So as you're doing this movement, still again notice what's going on in the pelvis. Because if you took your rib cage and you tipped it upside down and looked down it, it would look very much like your pelvis from the inside. Yeah, so there's always that similarity. You'll always see symmetry in the body. Not perfect symmetry, but you'll see symmetry. And then bring the fingertips out to the sides. Up you come with the right arm, bend into the left elbow, come up and over. Keep coming into the feet, keep extending up and over, but feel as though you're doing that to really open through the ribs. Let that right knee relax down towards the ground. Imagine it being really heavy. Up you come with the arm, brings the right hand onto the ground, come up and over through the left. Let that left knee lengthen downwards. And up we come. Extend away through the left leg. Bring the right sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh and bring the fingertips outwards. Let the left hand come around onto the left shin. Right hand comes around behind you. Left big toe rolls down to the ground. Left little toe comes onto the ground and we're going to extend up and away. Keep going into the left little toe side of the foot, lengthening away through the fingers. So you open the whole of the left side of the body. Let the bottom come down to the ground. As you come back and around to the center, bring the fingertips either side of the front leg, creep them forward, keep that movement up, breastbone in line with the tip of the nose, coming up through the crown of the head. So the spine comes forward and up. Up we come with the spine. Change the legs, so let the right leg extend away, let the left foot come in, come up through the crown of the head. Bring the right hand onto the shin, left hand comes around behind you. Right big toe rotates down, changes the shift of the pelvis. Right little toe comes down, brings you up. Connect into the little toe to really open you through that side of the body, going away through the fingers. Bring the bottom back and down, comes around. As you come around, fingertips come either side of the front foot, lengthen up through the breastbone, up through the crown of the head, but bring the spine forward. Come up now through the crown. Let the right leg come across so you can come to sit for a moment. Let the backs of the hands come onto the knees. Let the tail root down. Find that extension up and up and up through the crown. So imagine the spine coming out of the crown and extending all the way up to the heavens. So the work that we've done today, really to prepare us to sit for a moment. Let the breath come in and the breath go out. And as you're breathing in and out, begin to count the length of your inhalation and the length of your exhalation. Don't change the exhalation, just counting. Do it a couple of times. Notice if one is longer than the other. And if one is longer, can you lengthen the part of the breath that's shorter so that they both become equal? So noticing how the breath is now. At the top of the inhalation and at the top of the exhalation, there is the lightest pause before the body then begins to breathe in or out. If you can't notice it, it doesn't matter at all. But see if you can notice it. So just staying with that really steady, balanced breath and seeing if at the top of the inhalation or the top of the exhalation, you can tune into the pause between the breaths. Now, if you haven't picked up on that, like I said, it doesn't matter. It's in there, it's in your body. Okay? Don't worry about it, it'll come another time. We're now going to break the exhalation into 3 parts. So I'm going to exaggerate. So we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to breathe out, pause, out, pause, out the rest of the breath, pause and breathe in. Pause. Breathe out, first third, pause. Out, second third, pause. Out, last third, pause. And breathe in. Pause. Breathe out, first third, pause. Second third, pause. Last third, pause. Now come back to a natural inhalation and exhalation. So the pause is like you're pressing pause on a video clip, yeah? It's a light touch, light pause, yeah? 3 might feel, if it's the first time you've done this breath work, 3 might feel too many. You might just want to do it in 2, yeah? So you might just want to breathe out a little bit and pause, and then breathe out the rest of the breath and pause, okay? But we're really slowing down the exhalation, which makes us feel very calm, okay? So let's do it again. Let's take a big deep breath in. Pause. Breathe out the first third. Pause. Second third. Pause. Last third. Pause. Breathe in. Pause. First third. Pause. Second third. Pause. Last third. Pause. Breathe in. Pause. First third. Pause. Second third. Pause. Last third. Pause. Breathe in and out naturally. So when you're beginning to learn a new breath, do a couple of cycles, give yourself a break, come back to breathing naturally in that little break. Yeah, because the breath work has quite a profound effect on the body. So you're going to do it one more time now, but you're going to do it in your own time. So you've got your own pattern of breath, because sometimes, you know, I notice I breathe quite slowly and it might feel that's too slow for you guys. So remember, you breathe in, there is a light pause, breathe out the first third, pause, second third, pause, last third, pause, breathe back in, yeah? And then you go through that cycle again. So beginning, breathing in and coming into the Loma breath on the exhalation. And just do 3 cycles before you come back to your natural breathing pattern. And then once you come back to that natural breathing pattern, notice how the breath is in the body. Can it go a little deeper, not through force, but just through opening, being able to sit. You might feel you can connect a little more with the breath. The mind feels a little more relaxed, a little calmer. And then when you feel ready to, let yourself lie down. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you feel rested and supported. Let the breath come in and the breath go out. With each exhalation, let your muscles relax. So as you breathe in, become aware of your muscles. As you breathe out, let those muscles relax and soften. As you breathe in next, become aware of your bones. Let your bones rest. Let them rest onto your mat. As you breathe in and out next, bring your awareness to your breastbone. Bring your awareness to the space behind the breastbone. where the light we refer to in Namaste rests, where it dwells, where it lives. So imagine that little candle flame in your mind's eye. Noticing the flickering, the amber glows, the point. From here now, gently wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes to bring awareness back into the body. Let the body lengthen, bring the arms over the head, away from the body, extend out through the legs so you're finding space in each joint. And notice if you need to move again in any way. So let the body come back to a sort of more relaxed place. Does the body need to move? Do you need to hug the knees? Do you let the knees need to move from side to side to gently massage the lumbar? What's needed? And when you're ready to, roll over onto your right side. Bring your left hand down in front of your chest. Lengthen away through your left leg and bring yourself up to sit. As you come to sit, bring your hands together in Namaste to thank your body for its practice. Send love and blessings out into the world. Whatever you're up to, have a fab weekend. Stay safe and well, and Namaste. And well done, guys, for coming this morning and for being here. I'm I'm really pleased that we're managing to keep this going in a virtual world. I think you're all absolutely brilliant. So
Thank you. Thank you more. People. I'm really happy.
and we'll see you next week, my lovelies. Yeah. Have a lovely week. And I'll see you next week. Lots of love. Thanks, Gina. Bye, my loves.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Bye. Now,